Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel for more interesting stories like these. Now, let's get into today's story video. AITA for refusing to pay alimony to my cheating ex-wife. I met my wife when I was in my early 40s. In those days, she had been in her late 20s and was single. I was already well established and had amassed a large sum of money through my profession as a quant and by diligently accumulating my retirement funds. While he had gone to college, she had never done so and was quite content with working for less than the minimum wage. So when I first meet her, we instantly click, and I find myself falling head over heels in love with her. We get married, move in together, and have 3 children in a short period of time. When my wife and I were expecting our first kid, she expressed an interest in becoming a stay-at-home parent. I couldn't help but feel jealous, but I went along with it since it seemed reasonable to me. And so she will remain at home with our children for the next 20 years, while I continue to work 12-hour days and then some more on top of that. While I have nothing against stay-at-home parents, she had an exceptionally carefree life in the context of our marriage, which I find to be a shame. I discovered she had been cheating on me with her friend's husband a few years before when she confessed. Without a doubt, divorce was the outcome. Our house in the United States was the only big asset we held in the country, and it had been a premarital possession. We had a joint bank account, but since I am a financial professional, I was in charge of all of our investments, which were all placed in my home country for tax purposes. But if we had just drifted apart or she had voiced discontent, I would have no problem paying what is acceptable in this situation. But it's the fact that she cheated on me that makes me apprehensive about handing over any money to her. As a result of the divorce, she is entitled to half of our marital assets, more than 90% of which are held in my name abroad, as well as alimony for 20 years at a rate equal to 30% of my salary. I'm now in a position where I have the choice of entirely escaping this scenario by fleeing to my homeland and never looking back. In order to expedite the sale of our property, I transfer the money offshore and return to my home country, all the while lying to my wife about the reason for the delay in the liquidation of our assets. When I go outside of the country, I immediately stop paying alimony payments. She no longer has any legal recourse. I verified this with lawyers, and is left with half of the bare minimum we had in the United States of America. My interest in this is piqued by the fact that my own children are split on the matter. In contrast, my son entirely supports me, and both of my daughters are 90% in support of their mother. I thought it would be fascinating to see what everyone's thoughts were on the subject. Story 2. AITA for telling another gym member to wear a bra. Wearing bras is something I, a 25-year-old woman, loathe. They're stifling, restrictive, and expensive, to say the least. Because I work from home, I've gone about a year and a half without wearing a bra and have become used to not needing to wear a bra at all. To be really honest, I don't have any boobs. I recently returned to the gym and started working out without a bra. To be clear, no one has ever informed me that not wearing a bra is something I should avoid. An unexpected visitor approaches me in the middle of a set of squats and taps me on the shoulder to get my attention. He then tells me that my nipples are protruding through the blouse I'm wearing, which I find to be completely ridiculous. I'm annoyed because I'm not sure why this guy is looking at my nipples in the first place and then stopping me in the midst of a performance to inform me of his presence. I am upset and try to resume my set, but this guy literally grabs the bar away from me as I stand and re-racks it. It was him who informed me that I was having problems with the last exercise, and that he had come over to ensure that I could complete it before anybody saw my nipples. Angry at this point, I informed him that I didn't need his aid in finishing my set and that he shouldn't have been looking at my chest in the first place. It was his intention to spot me, but after looking at my breasts, he thought it would be inappropriate to do so. I assured him that the safety bar had been put in place and that he would not be necessary even if I failed the test. His main point was to reinforce the notion that members of a gym community watch out for one another, and that in the future I should certainly wear a bra in order to prevent making other members uncomfortable, as well as to help me stay better balanced during my squat workouts. I'm pretty much the only female in the weightlifting section of the gym right now, and the males who were squats and failing sets aren't bothered by any of this foolishness either. Even though I've seen folks lose many sets consecutively, without anybody ever stepping in to assist them, a little moment of silence causes everyone to believe I'm in trouble. So I'm annoyed and a bit nervous about the fact that this individual, who I've never met before, believes he's assisting me and then has the audacity to tell me how to dress. As a result, he instantly went on the defensive, stating he was only attempting to help me and referring to me as it'd be *tch. Maybe my judgment is clouded by the fact that I'm still annoyed, even though I'm not sure whether I responded excessively. Ada, edited to add, I'm not sure whether people believe I'm strolling about with my nipples on display. I genuinely despise tight clothing. My t-shirt size is X small, but I wear a large to the gym and pretty much everywhere else these days, and you can't differentiate my stomach from my chest. Because I was wearing a lifting belt, my nipples may have shown a bit more when squatting. Update. Thank you so much for taking the time to comment on my initial article. It was suggested by a few people that it was merely a validation post, but to be honest, when you go off on someone publicly and get a lot of attention, you kind of feel like an, even if your actions are justified, so yeah. It was not because of this experience that I eventually returned to wearing bras, but rather because I had been battling depression, which made it difficult for me to get dressed in general, not just at the gym, and dressing for success has been a small method of attempting to bring myself back into a healthier mental space. Anyway, the dude goes to the gym about the same time I go on most days, so I had to run into him again to get my workout done. Although I wanted to grab his bar out of pretended concern as he was crouching, I kept my distance from him and did not say anything. That is, up until a few days ago. I was deadlifting while simultaneously videotaping myself to ensure proper technique. One of the competitors approaches and says something to the effect of, "You do realize sumo is cheating, don't you?" Despite the fact that this comment is often made to me, particularly by guys who are half joking, it frustrates me, and I just ignore him. He repeats it again, a little louder this time, and I don't respond. After seeing that I was recording myself, he inquires as to if I had an Instagram account. I do not post my lips on Instagram, and whether he may follow me. I'm still not paying attention to him. At the end of the conversation, he says something to the effect of, "See, your form is so much better now that you're wearing a bra." And then I screwed it up again. It was at that point that I shouted at him, calling him a filthy, pestering piece of, I honestly don't remember what I said, but it was, admittedly, pretty obscene and attracted a lot of attention. A coworker approached me and inquired as to if there was something wrong. I informed him that the individual had been harassing me for the last 2 weeks and that I wanted to speak with management about the situation. All of this was challenged by the guy, who said he was just trying to help, and that I was being too sensitive. In any event, the manager came over to find out what was going on and was able to hear both of our stories. Because I had been videotaping my lips, I had a video of him making disparaging remarks about my bra, which I showed to the manager, who immediately suspended him for 30 days and threatened to permanently ban him if he bothered me again. As a result, I feel partly justified, but also a little disappointed that just one man was disciplined for this kind of behavior against women at the gym. The satisfaction of seeing someone suffer the repercussions of their actions is great, but dealing with this sort of behavior on a regular basis at the gym, even if it isn't as visible, can be quite unpleasant. Nonetheless, it seems I'll simply have to keep my calm and continue lifting.